Preferred stock. What's preferred about it? Why is it different than common stock? Right, the preference is with respect to the amount of dividends. Then there's sometimes also other preferential features. Preferred stock is sometimes looked at as sort of a quasi-instrument. It's not totally equity because it has some almost debt-like characteristics. So some of these features are cumulative, participating, convertible, and callable. We're going to look at each one of these in turn. Cumulative preferred stock is really a rather valuable feature, right? If the preferred dividends are cumulative, that means they accumulate each year. And that means if a company decides not to pay a dividend in a particular year, then the prior year or those missed dividends have to be made up before any money can be paid to common stockholders in the form of dividends. So let's look at an example. We've got 1,000 shares of $100 par value, 5% preferred stock. Whew, that's a mouthful. So first we have to notice that the preferred stock usually has a much larger par value or stated value, and then there's a percentage that's stated. And so that helps us determine how much is the dividend amount. So sort of like debt securities have a stated interest rate and there's sort of a known rate of return in terms of those semi-annual interest payments that happen with bonds. Preferred stock has a stated rate of return. So unlike common stock, which doesn't specify any kind of dividend rate, preferred stock does. So if we take that $100 par value and we multiply it by the percentage preferred, right, this is 5% preferred, then we know that the stated dividend rate for each preferred share is $5 per share. So if there's 1,000 shares outstanding, $5 dividend rate, every year the company should expect to pay $5,000 in dividends, especially if it's cumulative preferred. Because if the company doesn't pay the dividend in 2012, then in 2013 they will have to pay the dividends that were in arrears, the $5,000 amount from 2012 and the $5,000 amount for the current year, 2013, or a total of $10,000. So let me just make that really clear. Because the dividends accumulate before any common shareholders can get any money in the form of dividends, the $5,000 of dividends in arrears, sort of a funny word, but that's the terminology, from 2012, plus the $5,000 of current dividends to those 1,000 shares of preferred stock, all of that has to be paid before the common shareholders can get anything. So that's the cumulative feature. Now, another feature, participation. What are we participating in? Participating preferred shares allowed the preferred shareholders to share or participate or be part of any abundance of very large dividends that might get paid to the common stockholders. So above their regular dividend of the $5,000 a year in that last example, if the common shareholders started to obtain a dividend amount that was in excess of 5%, then the preferred shareholders would start to participate and share in and get above their stated rate. Two other features, convertible and callable. Convertible is exactly how it sounds. The preferred shareholders have a right, if they have this feature, to exchange the preferred stock at a given rate for shares of common stock. And preferred shareholders don't get to vote, so sometimes exchanging from preferred to common might be a valuable thing if there were important issues that were coming up for a vote of the shareholders. Callable is a preset call price or redemption price, and it's always at something higher than what the initial price that was received for those shares, right? So at a specified date or specified series of dates, the shareholders could turn in their preferred shares and get a price higher than what they paid for it, so they'd earn a premium. And those are just some of the features of preferred stock that make it preferable.